Hey, what's up, guys? It's Nick the Quine. Today we got another post for today's highest mathematical edge pick. Yesterday we had the LA Angels on the money line. Unfortunately, they did not cash. They got shut out 2-0. They didn't really have a problem hitting the ball. They just couldn't score runs, leaving a lot of guys on base. So now this makes, since I began posting these highest mathematical edge picks, a record of 4-3, profiting 5.85 units. So still only one game over 500 and a massive plus 5.85 units, showing the power of using expected value and sizing our risk based off of our probabilistic edge. Saying that, before I get into today's pick, as always, you can have access to all of my free sports betting picks on my X account at NickTheQuant44. This is where you'll be the most up to date. The moment I run my model on a pick and I do the edge assessment and see those edge, I post it straight to my Twitter account. So I don't post all the picks at once. It's just pretty intermediate pick, because I understand how time sensitive it is in regards to trying to beat the closing line, get the best odds, things like that. So I really want to try to give you guys the picks as convenient as possible. For the highest mathematical edge picks, I then go over to my Instagram and I'll post an infographic there, breaking down the pick. And then this analysis video is more so, like I've said in my prior posts, just to offer you guys transparency and insight. So again, in order for you to take advantage for all of my picks, but also if you're just only interested in the highest edge pick, that would be on my my X account immediately. So saying that, we're going to jump into the math on today's pick. Today's pick is the St. Louis Cardinals money line. Got them at plus 119. This is the third day in a row I'll be betting on them, fading the Padres, currently 2-0 going into today. We had them at a 53.45% probability, denoting a strong 17.06% expected value. And the risk we're putting on them, utilizing this sixth of the Kelly criterion, is 2.38%, or in other words, 2.38 units, as 1% of my bankroll represents 1 unit. So now we can jump into the math on how my ensemble model came to this, go across the calibrations, offer you guys some insights, and yeah. All right, so let's jump into the math. So as I've spoken on in all of my previous posts, my ensemble model has 9 interior models that are all calibrated, meaning that rather than just trusting an abstract probability that any model produces, but especially in sports, you want to understand how these probabilities or how these predictions perform in the real world. And that is how then you use calibration to better understand where the true, accurate, honest probability is amidst the prediction of a model. So all the probabilities you're seeing that are listed out here have already been calibrated, or should I say these are the calibrated probabilities. And then we will get into that initial output, the second layer calibration, and then the third layer calibration. So Model 1 had the Padres at a 54.2% probability. Model 2 also had the Padres at a 61.05% probability. Model 3 had the Cardinals at a 52.05. Model 4 back on the Padres at a 61.71. Model 5 on the Padres again at a 63.16. Model 6 back on the Cardinals at a 52.10. Model 7 back on the Padres at a 57.74. Model 8, disadvantageous position for the Padres, have them at a 48.06. And then Model 9 finishing up again on the Padres at a 56.25. So the overwhelming majority of my interior models showed support in the Padres. And this will lead me now into getting into that initial probability output. And then the second layer calibration, which assesses the actual honesty and accuracy of that initial outputted probability. And then the third layer calibration, taking into account now market regions to then give us our final probability and then our edge assessment. All right, so now jumping into calibration. My model initially had the Padres at a 54.68% probability. When my ensemble model initially outputs a probability in that 54% range, that has been accurate only 39% of the time, so it is extremely overconfident in this area. So second layer calibration pulls down on the Padres, putting them down to a 46.61%. And then we do third layer calibration, where we are assessing the market region of either team. The Padres market region was in a region that currently has a correlation in the market with a 46.34% win rate so far at this point up into the MLB season. So this is, again, a disadvantageous position for the Padres. In fact, their market region win rate aligned almost perfectly with that second layer calibrated probability range. So the Cardinals then have a finalized third layer calibrated probability of a 53.45% at those plus 119 odds, exhibiting a plus 17.06% expected value, justifying a risk of 2.38%, like I had mentioned back early in the video. So I appreciate you guys jumping, or should I say watching this video. I was going to say again, make sure to jump on my X account, follow, turn my post notifications on, check out my Instagram. But really, my X account is the big one because, again, you guys get those picks immediately when I'm doing them. You're not having to rely on my Instagram. You're not having to rely on this video to be posted. My X account is exactly as time sensitive as it possibly could be. So thank you for watching.